Hello, everybody. Welcome into the PGR Thursday Night Heat Series live and back at Talladega Superspeedway. Getting ready for the last race of 2023. Baker, I'm excited. How you doing here tonight?
Oh, really excited. Didn't look like we were going to get many entries tonight, but they all showed up right at the end. Looking at about 42 trucks tonight. Excited for another good race here.
And they pull through as they always do. Well, just before we get ready for some of your pre-race ceremonies, let's start with a command tonight from Mr. Kevin James himself. Here we go.
I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, there we go. Good to go. So here we go, taking a look at your race info here tonight, getting everything all cleared out. Same as what we usually see. Actually, we'll go ahead and start with your starting grid here tonight. And it's going to be Zachary Lima. He'll sit on pole. He's going to have his Dale Cup teammate, Steve Korosek, on his outside in second. Back in third, we'll start Jason Maines. Alex Hill to his outside in fourth. Nash Brambilla in fifth. Going on back to sixth, it'll be Ken McCall Jr. with Cody Nagels in seventh. Garrett Maines to his outside in eighth. And row number 5, and rounding out your top 10 is going to be Matt Lee and David Sheets.
Michael Toscaro in 11th, good qualifying effort from him. Justin Mills 12th, John Mollahan 13th, Jared Miller 14th, Richard Elliott in 15th, Mark Vondell, and 16th, 17th is Jeff Merck, Danny Eshelman, and 18th, 19th, Dustin Carruthers. He's getting in EOL, and Mark Math in 20th.
Zach Range will start 21st. Cole Fitzpatrick in 22nd. Michael Sellers back in 23rd with Mike Davenport in 24th. Moving this back a little bit further. Give me just a moment. Starting 25th, it's going to be Ian White. Sierra Clampert to his outside in 26th. Brock Westmoreland will start 27th. Mitchell Bagley starting 28th. Chris Knighty in 29th. And Dallas Knox, his teammate, going to be rounding out the top 30.
31st, you get Kevin Hazelwood, William Ransone in 32nd, Andrew Navarro in 33rd. 34th, Dylan Basin, Kevin Freese in 35th. 36th, you got John Ward, Dylan Jones in 37th, Trevor Osmond 38th. 39th, Ryan Baste, Tony Cox in 40th, Tucker McClendon in 41st, and Jamie Stevens in 42nd.
And talk about the race info. Looks like I actually had a little trouble here with the way it was set up. So we will go through it the good old-fashioned way, taking a look. We got good payouts here tonight. A little bit of an odd number, 178 guaranteed to win, but the race breakdown itself, 50 laps, a number that, again, we're used to seeing. And looking at fuel tonight, going to be 45%. So these guys should be able to go, Baker, right around 14, 15 laps. And then we got 3 green-white checkers, of course, if we need them.
Yeah, absolutely excited for this last race of the year. Taking the week off next week to get everything sorted out for the season coming up. And if we have a first-time new winner on this one, they'll be moving on to the PGR Championship. That'll be the first week of next year, and it's going to be really exciting. Get a trophy and 100 extra bucks. Excited
for that one, but excited for what we got on our hands here tonight. Here we go. For the final time in 2023, the PGR Thursday Night Heat Series at Talladega Superspeedway. Leading the field, Lima and Korosek. Green flag is in the air. Lap 1 completed is going to go to Steve Korosek in the 27 machine. Just behind him, Jason Maines, who we saw just come a little bit shy with a little bit of controversy the last week. And, of course, Tuesday Night Thunders, I should say, this week. But he's back out and looking to maybe prove something to some of these guys, and he is strong early. Different strategy than what we're used to seeing that one truck take, staying aggressive early. But Steve Korosek quickly going to jump back down to the bottom as their second time now down the back straightaway.
A big run off the outside line there. You can see a good push from Garrett Maines. You see Jason shuffled to the top there. Only 2 cars left now in that bottom line. But you see Justin Mills trying to tuck up to the back bumper, get a little bit more momentum in that bottom line, but you're going to see that middle line surge here.
And as they come through the trial, everybody still 2x2, just for the most part further back. A little bit of 3-wide action is already going to the outside. Trying to figure out exactly who that is. We got some new paint schemes in the field here tonight. And that's the 9. We might have a couple of the new teammates trying to work their way up here early. Dallas Knox in the 7. Actually, looks like he's going to be in the 99, I believe. But on the outside, again, his teammate is Chris Knighty, who right now is a little bit further back in 30th. But if those two get linked together, watch for them to surge all the way back to the front. But separation of 2 packs, 3 wide. This is looking a little sloppy early, Baker.
Yeah, just a little bit, but a lot of good racing up towards the front of the field. It just seems like there's a good separation between these 2 packs right now. Oh, you see a little 3-wide action going on behind. Almost some problems there, but nothing really to talk home about. You see one car going to get shuffled out to the outside and go towards the back.
Steve Karosek doing everything he can to keep everybody in check early. Moving on back to the second pack, as you see, looks like it's Richard Elliott, the last truck in that lead pack. They're still within range, and right now it looks like they're being led by Mike Davenport, Michael Triscaro, and then Mitchell Bagley, again, one of the new guys that we see in here tonight, the 37 as well of Michael Sellers, all trying to catch that group. Sarah Clampert's in there as well. There's the 9 of Cole Fitzpatrick, John Ward, Andrew Navarro, surging now on the bottom along with Brock Westmoreland. Just as quickly as I start to note them down as 2 packs, they're going to merge back to 1. Here is the actual second pack right now. Not sure what happened to these guys, but Ryan Bass, Trevor Osroff, Dustin Carruthers. So that's a couple of the KSR guys with Tony Cox as well, Mark Von Dell. Not sure what happened here. These guys are going to need a caution or need to get it together soon. And then Kevin Freeze, who I can only assume missed the start. He is another one of the drivers that is going to need a caution. But 4 laps complete, and so far, so good. Alex Hill now looking for a move to the front off the front bumper of Garrett Maines. Is it enough to get clear into 1? It's not, and now it looks like it's Maines' turn to try the outside.
Looks like Jason's going to go to the outside, and Garrett hops up right in front of him. But you can see Dale Cup stay hooked up there. They're hooked up by 3 in the middle right now. Zachary Lima on the bottom. No support with him except for Mills. It's going to stall this third line, though. What's really helped a lot of these trucks this week is they've had C fixed at Talladega this week, and a lot of these guys up front. Oh, you see Alex Hill really loose. Oh, my goodness. Don't know how he saved that truck. Unbelievable. But like I was saying, they've had this C fix. They've been able to run these almost exact track temps, a little bit different time of day, but it's showing that they've been practicing this whole week.
Certainly haven't, Baker. You can probably agree with me on this. The guys that we see in any of the C-Fix lobbies, doesn't matter how high the I rating is, do not hold a candle to the drivers that we see over here in money racing. So this still a lot more of a challenge, a lot sweeter to win, but a lot better racing, and we are seeing that now. 3x3 just about through the entirety of the field, and the 3 up front is Zachary Lima, Steve Karosek, and Garrett Maines, Alex Hill, Cody Nagels push in the middle. They're going to get all 3 of them clear of this bottom. What a move if they all decide to take it. Range and Mullahan like what they see. They'll jump down. Now Cody's going to get a chance. Maines, though, putting the pinch down. He'll be able to force Cody into the bottom, and just like that, now the Maines boys are going to have the top 2 lanes controlled. Meanwhile, Dale Cup, 3 trucks leading the bottom as Cody jumps up in the tribal.
Yeah, Garrett got to force Cody in a bad situation there, put him in a bad spot, made him go down the track, but gave him some room to get back up to that middle line. Good graces there shown, and cooler heads prevailed as you see him go from that middle to the bottom line, and they all get lined up by 4 here on the bottom, Dale Cup that is. Range has some fresh temps, he just needs a little bit of help.
The biggest mover right now is indeed Zach Range. He is up 15 from where he started. I should say biggest mover inside your top 10. Outside of your top 10, it is Andrew Navarro. He currently is up 17 positions, now up to 16th. Again, we talk about green flag pit stops. There's no stages in PGR. So if we get to green flag stops, that's where we start to see strategy become a play, and that's where you start to kind of become the question of, can we maybe make this thing green all the way? Oh, blink up front for Cody Nagels. They're coming up on Kevin Freeze. They'll have to go 4 wide for just a moment. Plenty of room to do that, but you always hold your breath just in case. Looks like they'll all get around just fine, but that's going to really hinder this outside line as they'll kind of go back down to 2x2 for the first 3 rows.
As you see, they shuffled the lap car all the way to the back. That was Kevin. Missed the grid. Had to start from the pits. But we're about halfway to this first pit stop. About 14 to 15 laps on this cycle. So we're looking at about 7 more laps, and you're going to see some green flag stops happen, hopefully.
We talked a little bit about what the race format was looking like tonight. Let's bring up the pay-ups real quick because that's what all these guys are looking for by the end of the night. First place, guaranteed $178 to win. Second, $148. Third, fourth, and fifth, $118. And then sixth place, going to be going home with $68. And remember, the entry fee itself was only $18, so a lot of money to be won here tonight in the last race of the season. And then don't forget, as Baker mentioned, if we see a new winner, which we have seen from time to time in a couple recent races, that could add another driver to the championship, the PGR championship, here at the start of next year. Looking forward to that. And right now, Steve Karosik. Baker, I got to ask, does Steve have a win yet in PGR? I mean, we always see him at the front, but a lot of bad luck hinders these Dale Cup guys.
I think Steve has one win earlier in the season, got it towards the March-April timeframe, right when we were starting PGR. So he will be in that championship fight along with Zachary Lima, Alex Hill, and Cody Eagles. So you've got 4 very, very fast trucks that are going to be in that. But there's about 20 drivers that are in that championship fight that all have a chance.
Going to be a good one. Here we go on the outside. How about two of the Team PGR teammates? That's J.R. Miller and Nashburn Billa. Nothing working. They'll quickly duck back down in line. We do have some driver cams here tonight, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of them. One of the guys, the guy that is still looking to break the dry streak and just the bad luck in general, and that is Jeff Merck himself. We'll bring him up here in just a moment. But, boy, Baker, I know you guys still work together on Tuesdays, and then here on Thursdays he's with Team PGR, but he just needs some sort of a break. Right now, Merck has just been getting absolutely no help, and here tonight could be his night as you see him going by Ken McCall Jr. That's a good-looking paint scheme on the 60.
I'd love for him to get it turned around and get that luck back on his side. He's a great teammate, really listens well, and puts his truck in a situation to where he can get a shot to win, but just seems to be on the unfortunate end of some really bad luck these past couple of months. So we're hoping for some good luck out of him here in the next couple of months and to help us out in that Ron championship at the beginning of the year.
There's a look at Tony Cox in the 72, another one of our onboard cameras here for the night. And last but certainly not least, the man who has got himself a PGR win, one of the best underdog victories we saw aside from Chris Parkman, and that is Trevor Ozernoth. He is our final driver carrying an onboard camera for us here tonight. Back up front, not too much action. Actually, these guys starting to settle down a little bit, and part of that might be the pit stops that are coming up here in just about the next 3 to 4 laps. Cody Nagels in the lead, Steve Karosek on his outside in second. Alex Hill, Garrett Maines making up row 2 along with Zachary Lima and Zach Range in row number 3. Further back, though, here comes Matt Lee, Andrew Navarro. They thought about making 3 wide. Those two, I don't know if they're direct teammates, but they have worked together for a long time, and iRacing got a lot of talent when they do work together along with separate, and they're going to quickly, like I said, duck back down in line. Nowhere to go just yet. But this single file line, Baker, it is getting longer and longer, and now we're down to only about 6 trucks in the outside line.
And I'm having to switch to Skycam, see where the second pack is compared to the first pack. I just can't believe they're not able to really try and push and get back up front. But I guess the pace is just so blazing up towards the front that they are able to lose the pack. And they've got about a 2-turn disadvantage right now. They're going to need a caution for sure to get back into this fight.
Track temp 92 degrees, winds 2 miles an hour, and it looks like it's about 3:15 sim time. So not sure. Yeah, that group must have had a mistake at the beginning. I mean, we saw them lose it, but they've just lost so much time, and handling shouldn't be an issue, so they may just not be able to figure out the pushing. But we saw a scorching hot track temp. Well, that provided for some good racing. But another kind of rumor, I guess we'll keep it at that for now, Baker, that we're expecting maybe next season is a switch over to the Xfinity cars. And if you tuned in to Tuesday Night Thunder, we saw the amazing racing that those cars have been providing since the new damage model update. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, we're looking for just some diversity, not so much going to, as you see, a little bit of trouble towards the back. Sorry
for Kevin Hazelwood,
cut
yeah.
That off. Yeah, towards the back, gets in the grass, gets it going again, still going to stay green there in that second pack. Unfortunate because they're going to lose a lot of time.
That's the 54 first race for Kevin Hazelwood, driver out of Smithfield. But here we go. Let's go take a look real quick at what happens. He was in the second pack, single file. Oh, it's a checkup, a pretty big one at that too. Gets an Ozernoth along to 24, and boy, that's a heck of a save to get down into the grass and not hit the wall. We don't see that too often. Nicely done.
Here come the green flag stops. I mean, almost every single person is coming down pit road here.
You are not kidding, boy. We switched back just at the right time. Oh, my goodness. And how about they all get in clean? Are you kidding me? Nicely done, guys. They're all going to get in. So does Sarah Clampert. Wow, we have not seen a pit stop that big go that smoothly in a while, Baker. This is going to start to play some strategy, and, boy, this is about to get exciting.
Oh, they go 4 wide at that second pack in for the pits. They get in clean. Everyone doing very good job getting to these pit stops here.
Certainly are. And the race out of the pits is going to go to Cody Nagels and Steve Karosik. Now it's not over yet because everybody's got to find a gap to get in, and sometimes we see that be just as much trouble. Look, everybody tries to find a spot, single file back out, and it is banked here, so it's a little bit easier to get back up to speed, but 3 wide there on exit further back, and they're all going to get it sorted out now as they get back up to speed. So now the question becomes, do the leaders pit? Sure enough, they do. Here comes Navarro and company, Jones, Matt Lee, Jeff Merck, and these guys are all going to get in clean as well. You see Kevin Freeze, even though he's a lap down, he's going to pit with this group to try to stay with the pack. And so just like that, Baker, looking like the first round of green flag stops are the cleanest we have seen all of 2023.
Yeah, it looks like a car just backed all the way up pit road. Possibly get a black flag. Maybe disqualified. He doesn't, though. Lucky for him. He's still backing up here.
And see that. And here's the leaders. Watch them because they're going to be trying to get past all the guys that just came out. John Ward, the furthest up, is Ian White. Maybe with a little trouble here further back. As what happened here to the 24 gets back going. Not sure if he came to a stop, went in the grass. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. But you see John Ward. Oh, he does have to come to a stop on the banking. Everyone going by. What's wrong with the 92 right here?
It looks like he ran out of fuel, missed his box.
That's a big mistake for John Ward. He will get past Barber. He's going to have to tow. He does not have a choice. If he doesn't tow, he's just going to be stuck out on the track. And that's not going to draw a caution either because he's below the apron. So that's really tough break for John Ward. He's still coasting over there, Baker, but he's not going to be able to make it around. I think he should tow from here.
Yeah, he's got to tow for sure. He's not going to... There he goes. He tows there.
And so after John Ward tows, we go back up front to take a look at what right now is 3 different packs, but they are going to converge to one here in just about a lap or 2. Cody Nagel still leading. He's got a Dale Cup teammate behind him and Steve Karosik, Garrett Maines, and Alex Hill, the other 2 in the top 4, and then Zach Range, the last of the top 5. There you go. You saw the 3-truck pack of it. It looked like Navarro, Jones, and I believe that's Matt Lee. They have all now caught up, and they're going to make a move as they jump to the outside. And then this pack right here looks like it's Jason Maines, Jeff Merck, Cole Fitzpatrick, and a lot of others all within range to catch the draft. So it'll take a couple laps, but they're all going to get grouped together, and it looks like they are ready to race. Nash Pravilla, he'll jump to the outside in front of Andrew Navarro, and this second lane starting to get rolling. We'll see what they can do.
And I don't understand really racing. Oh, you see a big block be put on the outside line. It makes it work, but I just don't understand why you're racing this hard. Get away from these cars that are trying to bridge the gap with 5 trucks, you know. Make it as easy as possible to get into one of those money spots. Get to another green flag stop and try and whittle out some more people.
Yeah, we definitely think the same on that idea. And when you bring up the topic of whittling out, whatever you want to call it, thinning the herd, that's what it is. At the end of the day, each pit stop, you drop trucks, and it drops more early on, less as the race goes on. But we take a look from that first stop, and I'll bring up the track map for you here. Look at the lead pack here. You know what? We'll go all the way actually to the front, the end of the lead pack, if you will. And we'll call it about the 30, excuse me, looks like about the 20th place car. Yeah, Richard Elliott. So after Richard Elliott, that's it. 19 trucks right now. Remember, we started with 42. So they've already dropped off over 20 trucks through one green flag pit stop. We get another 1, 2 before this race is over. At least you know you're going to drop off probably about 10 more. And then all of a sudden, you got a good chance at the money, and you only have to worry about battling the guys that you've had to battle all day instead of the rest of the pack. But 2 by 2 into turn number 1, 18 laps completed. Still about 7 or 8 from halfway, and up top, Nagel's trying to control lanes. He's got a teammate now below him in Alex Hill, but Zach Range has done a phenomenal job so far here tonight with the push-in, and he's trying to get Nagel's back out in front.
Yeah, and he's doing a really good job. I mean, they executed on that pit stop well. They got the track position they wanted. They're not really losing any time to the trucks behind them. They just have a ton of trucks formed up, so they're going to have a lot of speed here. And they're able to pull away from this second pack now and make a little more time on them.
And taking a look here, we talked about Richard Elliott, about the last man in that first pack, and Michael Triscaro, the first man in the next pack, which looks to be about 5 trucks, and then they're going to have 4 more trucks catching them. They are currently about 8 seconds behind the back bumper of Richard Elliott, and unfortunately, they are losing time, so they're going to need a caution, or they're going to need to figure something out. Still a lot of bridge cars for them to pull draft off of on the way up there, but I just don't know if it's going to be enough before we make it to that next green flag pit stop, which, Baker, we're probably expecting here, right around maybe lap 28?
Yeah, probably around 28, maybe closer to 26 or 27. They went about a lap shorter than what I thought they could do. But yeah, 28 would be pretty close.
Let's go back here, take a ride on board with one of the trucks in the middle of this chaos. How about NASCAR Billa in the 18? One of those guys that maybe isn't, I'm trying to think how to put this. He's got the talent. I wouldn't say he's on one of the highest money racing teams that you think of in terms of when you hear Dale Cup or the Mains boys, but he is on one of the good teams. Team PGR right there with McCall Motorsports. They have a little bit less people, but NASCAR Billa, even if he doesn't have teammates up here, he's got a lot of respect because he's got a ton of talent. And right now the driver behind the 18 Toyota Tundra with a good run early. He is still sitting in the top 5, but man, Andrew Navarro, how does he do it, Baker? Every single week, regardless of the series, Tuesday Night Thunder, PGR, he always gets to the front. He is up a whopping 28 positions from where he started. And same thing with Dylan Jones. We see him up here every week, and now he is up 30 from where he started. These guys are flying through the field.
Yeah, they always seem to get towards the front after the pit stop cycles out. You know those guys are going to really put it together. But one of the trucks that you're used to seeing up front that made a mistake on pit road, Zachary Lama, he is now a lap down fighting for the lucky dog in this lead pack.
That's a rare mistake, too, that we would see from Zachary Lima, one of the Dale Cup drivers. But he is going to have some work to do the rest of the way, and he's going to need a caution to help him out. There's John Ward in the 92. Is trying to see how much damage was done after he had to tow. Currently being scored in 41st position, and he's going to be down at least one. I'm thinking maybe at least 2 laps down. Take a look on your scoring tower there on the left as it scrolls by, and you'll see it right there on the next one. But it's a tough break for John Ward early. Also, Dallas Knox finds himself 2 laps down. Yeah, so John Ward is 2 down. Mark Vondell with an issue. He is still on the pits. Not sure what happened to the 52 machine, the 59 rather. So Dallas Knox not going to be able to help his teammate Chris Knighty right now as they are separated. Chris down 7 from where he started, currently in the 35th position. But again, Baker, anytime you see a new team, you know there's going to be a little bit of growing pains right off the get-go. But Chris Knighty and Dallas Knox, Forged Racing, keep an eye on these guys over the next couple weeks. I think they're going to figure some things out. Maybe they pick up another teammate. All of a sudden, we're going to start seeing them at the front of these races.
Yeah, definitely need about one more car, and they'd be flying out there. But the second pack is really racing each other hard. They're going to cause a wreck here soon. I mean, through the trial, though, they got really loose. All Kevin needs is one truck in front of him. He's going to fly to the front.
And right now, oh, there it is. Big hit for Jason Maines into the outside wall. This may draw first blood. One truck for now, but it's a big one, so it will draw the caution. Well, Baker, you called it, and they answered. Big hit for Jason Maines. That'll destroy that truck immediately to the pits. I think he's going to ultimately be the only man collected in this, but just, yeah, a little bit too much aggression at the front of the field. Risk versus reward. Let's see what sparks this one. Does he get a little help here from Fitzpatrick? Keep an eye on the 9 and the 1 on the outside line. They surge, and then here you go. Jason Maines goes kind of to the bottom. There you go. Gets in the middle. Lines it up for a push, and then, Karosek is a little offset. And I think when he gives Maines that push, that sends Maines up just about half a lane. Cole Fitzpatrick's there. They get together. That hooks him hard into the outside wall. But, looking here, looked like initially, Baker, Jason hesitates a little bit, but then he's still got time, so he does commit. Maybe needs to get just a little bit lower, but it wasn't much of an offset push. However, it was enough to get the one turned around. And what you see there, that is heavy damage. Talked about Jason Maines had to tow it. That was a fast burn, no doubt. Ripped the hood, the front bumper off. Not much left of that truck. Man, lucky this didn't collect anyone else either. You see they actually kind of netcode together, and that keeps them on the outside wall right up by the safer barrier. And when he slides down, it was when there was a clearing. So somehow the first wreck of the night, boy, you do not hear us saying this often, is again only a one-truck incident. Back that up again here. See if we can get a couple different angles. Let's go to the cockpit view first. Again, it was a little bit of an initial hesitation here from Jason Maines. You see him, he's going to get clear, and he goes down. And, yeah, the hit just pushes him up a little bit. I've had it happen before. Talk about you can push in the corner, but you got to be square. They got a little bit offset of each other. That was unfortunately the ultimate end result. Take another view of this one here from the wall cam. Safer barrier feeling this one tomorrow. Watch this. I don't know if we got Baker up here just yet, but when we do, or if we do, Baker, I mean, just kind of hard racing there. Looked like maybe the pushing was just a little offset, but nobody really doing anything oblivious there.
Yeah, it just looked like Steve's trying to help Jason out there. Gets him a little bit up the hill, but then the netcode happens. So I don't think that's really going to happen until Cole gets down just a little bit. And it just netcodes Jason up in the outside wall.
Actually, I'm glad you brought that up. I want to take one more look because from the view I was showing, of course, it looked like there may have been contact when he got pushed, but let's see. Yeah, oh, man, he's right. Yeah, that's a pretty brutal right rear netcode. So that would explain a lot more. I was going to say it looked like the push pushed him up, but it didn't look like it was that far. But there you go. And then, boy, that was a close call right after between Zach Range and Karosek. They would have got hooked together. That could have made that wreck a lot worse as well. So as we go back live up front, it is Alex Hill leading. We've got a couple guys looking for a wave round here. Looks like one of them might be Dustin Carruthers. Steve Karosek in second. Cody Nagels third. Andrew Navarro in fourth. Dylan Jones back in fifth. John Mullahan sixth. Zach Range in seventh. Garrett Maines eighth with Nash Brambilla ninth. And Mitchell Bagley up inside the top 10. These guys are going to be coming up right on the halfway mark here as they cross the line. I think we'll get the one-to-go signal. We are going to take a quick break. We'll go side by side so you don't miss a thing. Stick with us at Talladega. Front, now we're going to see a little four-wide action.
Crazy out of the triangle.
Oh, he gets over it into the lead under record.
3x3 entering four.
3 deep. At the flag stand, side by side, it's going to be Jason Maines winning it at Talladega. Back live at Talladega where the green flag has just been waved. We are back racing after our first caution of the night. 25 laps down, 25 to go. Alex Hill, Steve Karosek, the first two to get up through the gears. They lead row number one. Cody Nagels with the push on the inside. Navarro with the push on the outside. Still dead even as they work their way through turns 1 and 2. And Baker, I had forgot for a second when we talked about the pre-race info, but no fast repairs tonight. So Jason Maines, his night is over.
Yeah, just unfortunate for him. Cole had a lot of damage as well. Looks like it took a little bit of netcode, so it's going to be okay if he gets all that damage repaired, but both those trucks going to be hurting, especially Jason. He's definitely out for the night.
Yeah, that's the risk versus reward. They got racing through wide. That's where that kind of issue can sometimes spark up, but we saw the green flag stop. And we have a chance to see one more. So we went green with, like I said, 25 to go here. So that last pit stop, maybe right around 10 laps to go, Baker. I say give or take a lap. And the window's going to open up sooner than that, though, is what I should say. The window opens up probably somewhere between 15 and 10 laps to go. So we'll see if we see any varying strategy. But if we get that final green flag stop, as we saw in the first stop, maybe it drops off about half the field all of a sudden. It's that many less trucks that you have to race for money. Another driver I want to give a shout out to here tonight, one of the drivers that we don't see much, Mark Math. I feel like we've seen him before. Maybe it is his first race, but the 199 truck doing an okay job so far here tonight. Top 30. He's still got work to do, but again, when you're out here by yourself, you got to learn, and he's been clean and consistent so far here tonight. See what he can do the rest of the way. Meanwhile, a little bit further back, trying to get a little 3-wide action going was Mitchell Bagley in the 5 machine. He had a couple takers initially, but they quickly ditched him, and it looked like Sierra Clampert. No, that was Michael Triscaro, one of the trucks that was trying to go with them. And actually, interestingly enough, it wasn't planned this way, but Michael Triscaro, Sierra Clampert, similar looking paint schemes, and PGR rocking the colors that basically Sierra's trucks got on.
Yeah, it's that new rebranding that we got with the PGR Esports. Really cool new design we've got with the blue and the hot pink, and it looks really good on Mike's truck.
It does, and boy, how much sweeter would it look if he could find himself in victory lane. Remember, he won the NSRA Sunday Select Series Championship just about a week ago, and now still looking to see if he can get one of the main PGR events checked off the bucket list. Up front, Alex Hill still leading the inside with Cody Nagels. The outside still consisting of Steve Karosek and Andrew Navarro. No more 3-wide yet. These guys seem to be trying to get a little bit more comfortable before they push the issue. And looking at track temp, Baker, it's actually dropped a little bit. So you think this is going to hinder the outside line and anybody wanting to go up there? I don't know. Right now we're seeing a couple of the Team PGR teammates give it another shot, and looks like they're starting to roll here as they're going to enter onto the back straightaway. That's Michael Triscaro and Mike Davenport. The more pushing you do, any stack-ups are going to hinder any other lane. Now they're going to add another teammate in Nash Brambilla.
Yeah, and you know, we always say that the outside line gets hindered, but if temps start to go on both lanes, in the middle and the bottom, the top lane's going to roll at some point. So you just got to play that waiting game. Wait for them to run out of temps. If they're not managing well and just pushing it for everything they've got these next couple of laps, you've got a chance in that third lane, especially if you get 4 good trucks hooked up on the outside line.
Certainly doing right now. You got 3, maybe one more. There it is, Andrew Navarro on the 42 machine. He'll jump to the outside. Here comes the cavalry. Andrew Navarro, Nash Brambilla, Michael Triscaro, and Mike Davenport trying to go to the front at Talladega. 21 laps to go, and just like that, they are back to 3x3 racing. No thoughts of 4-wide, but further back, they do narrow back down to 2-wide. Mitchell Bagley in the 5. He tried it earlier. He'll try it again as he goes back to the front. And another driver that had some troubles early, unfortunately had missed the start, was Kevin Freeze in the 25. Baker, he got back on the lead lap. And it looks like right now he's in 33rd. Well, actually, before I say anything, did he indeed get back on the lead lap here? He may not have. I thought he did. Kevin Freeze, he's up 3 from where he started. And it looks like, yeah, I was trying to figure out, did he get back on the lead? Yeah, no, he's not. Sorry, I take that back. Got confused there for a moment. I was wondering. I saw him in the middle of the pack, and I'm like, it doesn't seem as far back as 33rd. So, yeah, unfortunately, that means that Kevin Freeze has not gotten that lap back, but I think he's going for either the lucky dog or trying to get it back the hard way. That's why you do see him in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, he's that first car lap down. He's battling at least 9 other trucks that are out there. So now make it 10 with Ian White going a lap down, so there's a bunch of cars that are a lap down trying to fight for this lucky dog, but he's going to try everything he can to get up there, maybe help Garrett, and see what he can do.
And a little bit of an interesting switch up here at the front. Navarro got clear, so he jumped. Oh, we got contact out back. That's Westmoreland back up the track. This will be our second one of the night as they crash big time. The 8 up on the safer barrier and into the fence. Couldn't tell exactly who that was. It was a big hit. Couple of them. As we talked about, second caution of the night. Looks like everybody's going to get rolling away from it, but now you question how bad is the damage. And it looks like that was Dylan Basson, who we hadn't had a chance to talk too much about tonight. Wow, he's got major suspension damage, so this is actually probably going to be a night ender for the 8 machine. Actually, we'll go to the left front here, get a better look at it. There you go, the suspension on that is definitely out of whack. So he'll go down, try to get as much repair, but there you see the steering wheel almost 90 degrees to the right to go straight. So he's going to slow down on the apron, try to drive it back, see what he can get bandaged up. But let's go take a look at what happened. I saw Brock Westmoreland and another driver, the first two out of shape. Here, we're going to start with an onboard ride. Actually, take that back. I don't think that's going to be the best way to take a look at this. So we'll go up here, rather, to Brock Westmoreland. In the 4, he's racing alongside Mitchell Bagley, who we just saw work his way up to the top to go 3 wide. And it's a little bumping and banging between the two. Ooh, a little more. Eesh. Looks like, to me there, maybe Mitchell Bagley ran Brock out of room just a little bit. You see, as they get into the turn, the 5 pinching him tight. They make some contact. That sends Brock down. Brock saves it. But it looks like maybe that save sends Brock a little bit up the track again. They make more contact, and that second hit is what sends Brock down into Richard Elliott. And Elliott, with nowhere to go, piles back into him. And right here, trying to keep it down. But unfortunately, those trucks are going to go right back up the track. And this is where things get ugly. Look at the trucks piling in. There's Dylan Basson, gets up over a couple different trucks, lands on Ryan Baste. Oh, it looks like, can't tell who it is in the pink truck, but the 54 piling in with nowhere to go. There's the 9 out back. Another big shot. I believe that might have been Chris Knighty. As they slide down, Danny Eshelman comes to a halt at 37 along with Cole Fitzpatrick. Going to try to miss this. There you see Justin Mills on the inside, makes more contact with the inside wall, as does Dylan Basson. So back this up here again and take a ride on board here first with Dylan Basson, and then maybe a little bit further back. Actually, this is Brock Westmoreland. But I do want to go back to Dylan here. As you're going to see he's got nowhere to go. He kind of got pile driven to a certain degree, and then this is a pretty wild ride. Watch this. Gets up into the catch fence. There's nothing he can do at that point. So if we go take another look here, how about Chris Knighty in the 9, who we saw unfortunately get involved in this a little bit late. He was further back, but you see he's tucked up behind the 99, so he just can't see, and then it's too late, gets turned. Now the other thing, the kind of defining moment, if you will, for this wreck was when Richard Elliott and Brock Westmoreland on the apron. It looked initially like they had it saved. All of a sudden they came back up. Let's take a look here. Ooh, man, that second hit I think just catches Richard Elliott's truck. Kind of sends the wheel back to the right. Yeah, because you see he's trying to hook it left, but it's just not turning for him. And then once he gets sent up, there's just nothing he can do at that point. And Exxon, man, that is still a wild ride right there for Dylan Basson. The 0-2 of Richard Elliott with damage to the back and probably a little bit to the left front. Not sure just how bad it is. Sarah Clamper, she drives through. She'll escape this one unharmed. We'll take one more view here from the fan cam. They had a pretty good look at this one off of turn number 4. So it draws your second caution of the night. Only 2 so far. Not too bad. And it is going to give us a restart with under 18 laps to go. Up front, Alex Hill, Dylan Jones, Cody Nagels, Andrew Navarro, and Zach Range make up your top 5. It's John Mullahan back in 6th. Nash Brambilla 7th with Michael Sellers in 8th. Steve Karosek in 9th. Michael Triscaro currently rounding out your top 10. Now Baker not quite in the window, but things are getting a lot closer here. How many more laps until these guys would be good to go the rest of the way if we get another caution?
Yeah, I think if we go maybe 10 more laps, they got to go a little bit further than that. I think, I don't know. I think they're going to try and get to right around 36, 37, maybe pit. But if they're not short pitting, I think they're going to run it all the way out and try and beat the field that way. You've seen that if you're in the bigger pack the entire time, you have the... I can't keep my head straight because these guys are doing soundboards in the middle of this race, and it's Zachary Lima is one of the funniest guys we have on this service, and he has all the soundboards queued up for any type of instance, and there's a lot of people raging from that last caution and pit road incident, so they're having some fun in there. But I think if you stay out, you want to pit it probably lap 40, maybe split it in half, and then you try and get your advantage that way.
Yeah, whenever we get an interview from Lima, you'll know exactly what Baker's talking about. But as he said with about 36 laps or so complete is when he thinks they'll come in. And so that'll be right about 14 laps to go. That's when that window opens. So basically what he's saying is if we get another caution, they will be in that window. It's just a matter of how much you'll have to save to get there. And with the lights off, we're going to go back green here with exactly 16 laps to go. 2-3 laps from now is when that window opens. Who is going to win it? How about 32 people watching right now? Thank you all so much for coming out tonight. Big crowd. We don't usually get one quite this big. Philip Wilkinson, Mark Vondell, Logan York, Donalda Adams. A couple more people. Baker's mom, Shirley Cox, Julie Paul. 7C's. Good to see you guys all out here. Hope you're enjoying the PGR Thursday Night Heat Series. Again, going to be a week break after tonight. Give everybody a chance to enjoy the holidays before we get back with some big stuff for next season. Talk more about that here in just a little bit, but here we go. Back into the Geico restart zone. As said before, 16 laps to go to crown our final winner of 2023. Green flag back in the air. It's a good jump for the inside. Alex Hill already through the gears. Doesn't quite have any help yet from Cody Nagels. Now he's going to get a push to the outside, though, already lined up. Andrew Navarro, Dylan Jones, and John Mullihan trying to push ahead. How about Michael Sellers in the 37, the underdog choice of the night, and he's up here running fourth on the outside. As they drag race.
Someone taking advantage of the green flag there, got the run on the outside and started passing people, so I'm probably going to get a green flag drive-through here for Mark Math.
And now you got me curious, so we're going to actually go back and take a look before these guys get too crazy, too aggressive. Well, everybody remembers when Kyle Busch did it in real life. Let's see Mark Mann here if he tries to do it a little bit in sim racing. There you go. Starts throttling up right as they get into the Geico restart zone. Looks from that view.
Oh, one car to the outside wall, back down. 2, 3 cars going to be caution here.
Caution is out. That's Jeff Merck trying to figure out who the other one is that spun around the 24. Is that... Oh, man, we got a couple more involved in this one. So they all come to a stop. Couldn't tell exactly who that was. I believe that was Jamie Stevens in the 24. Yeah, sure enough, it was. So all of a sudden, things starting to get a little bit messy here towards the end. Again, no fast pairs, but I'm not even sure how this one started. We went to go take a look real quick at the restart, but I feel like any time in this series that I go back to take a look at a replay, that's when these guys decide to wreck. So here we go, and I get some slack for it, so we're going to have to stop going to replays or something, but here we go. On the outside, that's Kevin Freese in the 25. It's going to start in front of him. The 5 of Mitchell Bagley jumps down. Everything seems clean there. Actually, this might start in front of that. Yeah, oh my goodness, Jeff Merck. Major issues. He was about stopped. Not stopped, but boy, he was really, really slow. Let's go see what happens here to the 60. He's on the outside.
Got turned into the outside wall.
Okay, so here we go. Let's go back and take a look. Go to TV follow first before we go to the onboard. And the 60 of Jeff Merck in the middle on the outside. That was Michael Sellers who we were just bragging about. And, oh, yikes. Does get turned and then shoots him off of the outside wall back down the lane. He's able to straighten it out, but unfortunately the oncoming traffic just too fast to avoid him. I was wondering, was there just a little bit of netcode right here? I think the... Man. Looks like... Backing it up, maybe Jeff Merck creeping up just a little bit. And at the same time, yeah, Michael Sellers starting to come down. And I think there was a little bit of netcode, but I think they were going to touch either way. And once they do, it's going to shoot Jeff Merck straight into this outside wall. And this is going to be another big shot. This will probably break the right front suspension if I had to guess. Man, look at that shot. Then when he comes back down into traffic, this is where things really get ugly. They're going to pile in here. The 5, Mitchell Bagley, nowhere to go. Here's the 54 as well, the 24, Jamie Stevens. So all in all, looks like it's about a 3-truck wreck. Tony Cox, not sure. Did he spin or did he make contact first? Oh, he's going to get spun here by Mitchell Bagley in the process of missing it. So I think Tony's okay. I don't think he hits the inside wall. I couldn't tell from that view. I'm thinking maybe he did here. Yeah, you see the tire marks, certainly indicative of that. Back this up for the 72. He goes for a slide, locking it down, trying everything. Oh, he's not going to be able to miss it. That's a decent hit. It's not going to be a night ender, but certainly some bad news for any Tony Cox fans in the chat. And there's Brock Westmoreland from the earlier wreck. But let's go back and take a look from Jeff Merck's cockpit. Blindside hit, and boy, that outside wall It's hard to stay up on it, Baker. And Merck here, he did a good job saving it. If there's no one behind him here, this is a minimized wreck of just him. You see, he holds it straight when he gets down, but just, again, when it happens in the middle of a pack sometimes, it's just too hard for everybody to miss, and ultimately leads to probably our second biggest wreck so far here of the night.
Yeah, now we're not going to have to worry about the green flag pit stops anymore. We're good to go to the end. Going to be close, very close, but they'll be able to make it for sure.
As we take that last view of that. There's a couple late hitters there, but nobody really too late. Everybody able to miss it after about the first 3 or 4 trucks that arrived on scene. So here you go, 13 laps to go. It's Alex Hill leading. Looks like the 99 machine looking to get a lap back here, as maybe a couple others are, but up front, it is indeed Alex Hill with Cody Nagels, Nasper and Billup back in 3rd. Zach Range 4th with Andrew Navarro in 5th. The 11 of Dylan Jones 6th. Michael Triscaro up inside the top 10, up 4 from where he started. He's in 7th. John Mullihan in 8th. Garrett Maines in 9th. And David Sheets. It's been a good night for him as well. He is currently rounding out your top 10. Looking to get the one to go signal right here. We are going to take another break. And again, we will go side by side so you don't miss a thing. Stick with us. We'll be right back at Talladega. Front, now we're going to see a little 4-wide action.
Crazy out of the triangle.
Oh, he gets over in the lead under wreck.
3x3 entering
4. 3-2. At the flag stand, side by side, it's going to be Jason Maines winning it at Talladega. Back live at Talladega Superspeedway, getting ready for potentially the final restart. I don't know. I think maybe we get a couple more with the crazy racing we're about to see, but it will be 11 laps to go nonetheless. Alex Hill will lead him back into the Geico restart zone with teammate Cody Nagels on his inside. Green flag is back in the air.
Huge stack up. 2 cars on the inside, big wreck in the back.
Man, oh man. Do they all hold on? They don't. So caution will fly. The 26 is around. Caution is back out. 4th caution of the night, and I think 3 of them came within about the last 10 laps. And this is just going to be one of those classic stack-up effects. We see it at least once every other race, if not once every race itself. And so here we go. Let's back it up to the TV follow. You see Ken McCall Jr., one of the primary clients involved in that one, if you will. And then the 26 of Tucker McClendon. So here you go. Coming into the zone. This actually starts a little bit ahead. There it is. So it actually starts on the outside. Back that up again. Watch the hiccup on the outside, bottom of your screen. Right around, looks like that might be David Sheets. And then just behind him, J.R. Miller. Play that real slow. Again, watch the stack up. You're going to see the 78. Yeah, John Mullihan checks up a little bit. David Sheets does. J.R. Miller gets in the back of Sheets. And then there's the checkup. Davenport Richard Elliott, William Ransone. This is where it starts to get really big. Sierra Clampert, she's got nowhere to go, and so she actually gets into William Ransone. That sends him down into Kevin Freeze. They initially save it as they go onto the apron, but then kind of a secondary checkup from this checkup further back. You see Ken McCall Jr., he is going to get tagged right here. So 26 shoots to the inside. Tucker McClendon initially misses it. Ken McCall Jr. goes to the outside, but then gets turned around down into Tucker McClendon to have nowhere to go. That turns Tucker around and then sends Ken McCall Jr. into his own teammate, Danny Eshelman, ultimately collecting those 3 trucks and what draws the caution. Let's go back and take a look at that one from the restart cam. That was what kind of initially saw it on right there. Just nowhere to go. Baker just a stack up effect. I don't know if I want to call it completely guys not paying attention, but certainly have learned over my, well, just over a year now doing iRacing that you got to have eyes everywhere, especially on these restarts at super speedways, because the checkups, you almost got to expect them. If you're running faster than the pace speed towards the back of a pack, there's going to be a checkup at some point because you know the front guys are running slower. And in this case, that caught a couple guys in a bad spot, but don't think the damage is too bad. I think everyone was able to walk away from this one just about unscathed. Certainly going to be some damage for some of these trucks, but I think maybe Ken McCall Jr. got the worst of it. We'll go back and take another look, but I mean, Baker, do you really pin anybody at fault for that one?
Yeah, it's like a big stack up there in the top line. I can't really call it on anyone. It just looks like JR gets in the back of Sheets, and then Richard into him, and then the truck behind them into them. So just huge stack ups.
All right, so we'll go back live, rack them up, and try it again. This time it's going to be less than 10 laps to go. So, again, if you had any questions about fuel, even on the last restart, well, now they're not just good for regular scheduled distance. They're going to be good for overtime as well, as it is now 9 laps to go. Alex Hill still leading. Cody Nagels in second. Zach Range third. Dylan Jones fourth. Nash Brambilla rounding out your top 5. Michael Triscaro just outside the top 5. He sits in 6th, and Team PGR is looking pretty good right now. Let's see if we can get a word here, actually, with, let's see if we can pull up Michael Triscaro. I haven't heard from series owner in a while. Hey, Michael, this is Baker and Allstep in the booth. You got a copy?
I do. How's it going?
Good. Well, a little bit crazy here towards the end, but so far your night's been going good. Now, we know there's no fast repairs, but I feel like at this point it's got to be go time. So what's the game plan here to try to capture your first win in your own series?
Yeah, the game plan right now is to try to stick with my teammates here. I got Nash up ahead of me here in a couple spots, and JR and Mike Davenport not too far behind. We were able to make that third work earlier as a team. Navarro ended up coming up in front of Nash. We pushed him clear to the lead, so we're thinking about taking that third lane here near the end and trying to push one of our teammates here to the win. So I don't care if it's me or the other 3. I just want a PGR win tonight. It'd be very nice.
Well, looking at fuel, we know that anybody that pitted on the last stop is going to be good to go for the regular distance. Are you good for overtime as well?
Yeah, I think I'm about 4 laps to good right now, so should be plenty good for overtime with this caution here. Obviously shutting the truck off and coasting here on these caution laps, but should be good to go. Hopefully we can get the victory lane tonight.
Well, last question I want to ask you before we let you go, because I know you got to be just as excited as we are about it. The PGR Championship race, what would it mean to get into that? And give us a little preview of what exactly these fans are going to be in for next season. Yeah,
man. Right out of the gate in 24, we're going to do a 2023 PGR title race, and pretty much every guy that won is going to have a bonus going for a $100 bonus, so should be pretty fun. Obviously, I'm not in that right now, so I got a lot to race for here in these closing laps tonight, but we have actually a lot planned for 2024, so we're looking forward to getting that schedule out to all the drivers here shortly and take a couple weeks off and come to the new year fresh and ready to go.
Excited for it. You got some business to finish here tonight. Good luck the rest of the way, and thanks for talking to us.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
There you go. Michael Triscaro, Boyd Baker, he has certainly accomplished a lot. Started iRacing, maybe half a year ago, even less than that, and already has one of the most successful money racing series here. A great group of guys, and week in and week out, we keep seeing these fields of over 40 trucks.
Yeah, we just keep pumping out the numbers, even close to the holidays. Not many series can put it on like PGR does, and we're really excited for 2024 and the races to come. But back to talk about the diversity that we're trying to get here in the series. We're looking at running the Xfinity cars again. We're looking at running the Gen 6 cars. We're looking at maybe doing the next-gen races and putting some different cars in the field to get some more competition out here from different flavors of drivers.
Well, if you guys run the Gen 6, I might have to hop out of the booth into the seat. I love those cars and haven't ran them yet, at least not officially on a super speedway. So be a fun one, something to look forward to. But here we go. It's going to be 7 laps to go, and we always bring it up, but if we make it to the white flag, the race will be official. So basically, these guys got to run 6 laps right here clean. We'll see if they can do it. Nagels and Alex Hill, 2 of the Dale Cup teammates, in pretty good position right here to secure at least some sort of money. Remember, the money pays all the way back to 6th. So anybody in those first 3 rows at the moment would be getting paid, with Andrew Navarro currently being scored as the last man in the money. But we know anything can happen. So here we go. Pace car is going to pull off. They will roll right back into the tri-oval for the 5th time in total here tonight. 4th restart. And here we go. Alex Hill. The mark is on him. Green flag is back in the air. 7 laps to go at Talladega. Good start for both lanes. Further back, no checkups. This time everybody was able to get going nice and smoothly down into turn 1. Cody Nagels with a little bit of an advantage now. Alex Hill and Dylan Jones quickly linked up. Who will have the momentum on the backstretch?
No one's really going to have the momentum here. You see it 3 wide further back, but now the top lane's starting to really surge here. Navarro and Jones giving a good shove to Hill. Triscaro in line with him. Garrett Maines behind Triscaro. He's going to have a good pusher. Lima behind them as well. Very aggressive people on this top line. When do they make the move to that 3rd lane? They know they got to run those temps out of that middle line first. Cody will come up and that'll cycle the temps if he can get clear. If range gives him a good push, but he's getting him sideways. Knocks him down the track a little bit. Here comes the middle line starting to roll a little bit. Maybe we can get these temps going and get this 3rd line, and it's going to be a barn burner of a finish if we keep it green here.
Zach Range quickly acquiring a title for just how aggressive he is at pushing at these super speedways. And pros and cons to it. I think if you're Nagels, though, it's a pro right now on the inside. We know Cody can handle those very aggressive pushes, doing a good job right now. Again, no 3 wide just yet. You know, Hill and Nagels aren't in a hurry to try to let either of those lanes be controlled by anybody else. 2 Dale Cup teammates is the way they want it. But here we go. Going to see that 3rd lane maybe start to form. The first man out is going to be Steve Karosek. Nothing doing yet, but if Lima gets in front of the 27, watch for him to jump up. There he goes. That'll put 2 Dale Cup teammates. Oh, contact! The 55 at Davenport goes up into Steve Karosek. 2 trucks for now as Steve tries to keep it up. He does. Yellow flag will still fly, and man, I think Steve Karosek is not going to be too happy about that one, as Mike Davenport was still on the top of the track, so Steve bumps him again. And the 55 is destroyed. The 27 not in very good health either. From initial view, that one didn't look too good, but we're going to take a look at the replay. Again, nothing intentional here by Mike Davenport, but Steve not going to be too happy in the sense of it looked like 55 just came up on him, but there may have been a little netcode involved, right rear that is. We've seen that a couple times here tonight, so let's see if that was the case or if it was just straight on full out, elbows out contact. So Steve had been up on the 3rd lane trying to make it work here. Lima goes to do the same, and then watch Mike Davenport in the 55. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some right rear netcode right there. Significant amount of it as well. Davenport, it creeped up just a little bit before this netcode ensues, so here you go. Steve's running him a little tight here. He has to. He's trying to get the side draft, and that's already kind of in that range where you might get a little right rear netcode. They're okay here, but you're going to see Davenport's going to come up the track just ever so slightly. I mean, it was not much. Maybe, way less than a quarter of a lane, but comes up the track just a little bit, and let's go to the chopper view. And when he does so, they get really close again, still not touching, but at this point, that's where you're going to see a little bit of that right rear netcode. Steve Korsek's left front. The game thinks that he's clipping Mike Davenport, but he's not, and that sends Davenport right around, up into the outside wall. Hard hit. He almost gets upside down, and him and Karosek right along the safer barrier. I thought we weren't going to see a caution here for a minute, but man, that was a close call. A nice job by Steve and Mike Davenport to miss it, and about the rest of the field as well. And then there's a secondary impact for Steve Karosek, has probably thought that the 55 had slid down by then, but he just did not quite got there yet. So here's the onboard view we'll take an onboard view with both of these guys. For Steve first. Oh man, boy, I'll tell you what, the netcode is so obvious to see when you go on the onboard cam, at least for this crash. That destroyed Mike Davenport. I mean, there was like nothing left of that truck. You saw the front get completely torn off. Here you go. I feel like we've seen quite a few wrecks tonight over in the turn 3 and 4 area that have looked similar to this one. Dylan Bassett earlier. Take another look here from
Calamity Corner tonight.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, but I mean Baker again. That one just looked like Steve trying to run him tight to get the side draft. Davenport maybe just ever so slightly drifts up, but then ultimately it's that right rear netcode that catches him again.
Yeah, we got to stop calling it netcode. It's just the way these trucks are modeled now. You can't get anywhere near it and have any motion from the bottom lane. If you're going to side draft, that bottom lane has to stay completely tucked up. And hey, you know, I don't blame him for trying to come up and get a little space, and it just netcodes, and it's all you see now on these trucks, and it's pretty unfortunate.
I'll tell you what, I do agree with you that we need to stop calling it that, because you're right. At this point, I mean, when we almost know, like, you start to get close and you feel you're like, ooh, this might be a little too close. I don't like this, but you know how that works for us, Baker. If we call it what it isn't, we're going to start getting accused of being biased broadcasters. So nonetheless, in this case, no actual contact, but as you said, one of those things where cause and effect. The cause was a hard side draft, and the ultimate effect was a netcode that led to a big one here, but ultimately only collecting 2 trucks somehow. So it's going to put us in a restart now. Let's see if we get the one to go this time. I think it's going to be a natural green-white checkered. So it'll be 2 laps to go as Chris M. Sim Racing, boy, laying it out there. He says stop blaming netcode everything. Bad driving is bad driving. Well, I'll tell you what, Chris, if you want to come up here and just start calling people terrible, that's fine, but it's a little bit harder for us to do that. So nonetheless, it'll be 2 laps to go. Once they get the green, assuming they get the one to go right here, Baker, I got my pick here as probably Alex Hill. Well, he's been strong all night, but you can't count out Cody Nagels either.
Yeah, strong run by Alex again, and MBG, or sorry, Dale Cup as well. Old MBG up front too. Zach Range, though, having a really good run. Nash Brambilla, another guy who's been running a lot of the C-Fix, and you can tell he's been running all these C-Fix and just getting himself prepped to get into this money race and have himself a shot to win this race.
All right, so here we go. They line up 2 by 2, and as they do so, well, we showed the payouts earlier, but just in case anybody missed them, take one more quick look at it here. So there you go, 178 guaranteed to win here tonight, 148 to second, 118 to third, 118 to fourth and fifth, and 68 to sixth. Based off of 45 entries, I think they came just a couple spots short, so the payout's still going to be really similar nonetheless. And we have 3 green-white checkers if we need them, hoping that we don't. If these guys can make it 1 lap around, we will certainly not. So they line up 2 by 2 though here, Baker. Who do you look to be maybe the first guy to make it 3 wide?
I don't think the 3 wide's really going to happen till that second lap. These temps are just going to be too strong on these middle 2 lines, so I think Cody's probably going to try and clear up in front of Sean here, and they'll be pushed by 2, which means more fresh temps in that middle line. So I think you're going to see Lima. You're going to see Lima and Garrett hop up to that 3rd line, and then Nash is going to take advantage of it, and those are going to be those front 3 that take that high line. Start getting stacked up here. Fields coming out of turn 4. Pace car is going to pull down. We're going to have a natural green-white checker here, not an official green-white checkered attempt, but look for this outside line to really surge. It's going to be very good trucks on the bottom as well. It's going to be probably a 3-car tandem on the top lane and the bottom lane.
All right, here we go. Back into the Geico restart zone we go. Green flag is back in the air. 2 laps to go. Natural green-white checkered. Nagels up to the gears quickly. He'll get just a slight edge, but the outside quickly going to get lined up as well. They will drag race down into 1. The first disorganization a little bit further back, right around Michael Triscaro and John Mullahan. And nobody going to dare to do any 3 wide yet. These packs, little runs, I should say, the little gaps are going to have to close up. That's where you'll start to see some runs, and ultimately that's where we're going to start to see some passes being made down the back straightaway. No move yet. They remain 2 by 2.
And like we said, there's 3-car tandem in the bottom lane and the top lane. Cody didn't take it up. Good on him trying to run Dylan out of temps here on this natural green-white checker. They're coming around for this white flag. 2 by 2. No one really stepping out yet. Lima and Garrett going to be those first 2 to probably try and make it happen. And you're going to have Mullahan behind as well.
And side by side, coming out of turn 4. If they make it to the white flag, race will be official. Big wiggle on the outside. Dylan Jones sees that. He will now surge. Cody Nagels ahead on the inside. They are going to make it. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go at Talladega. Up front, it's still the 2 Dale Cup teammates just behind Zach Range. Still looking for his first win in PGR. Up top, Garrett Maines, Mullahan, and J.R. Miller lining up in the 3rd lane.
Nothing going for that 3rd lane, but watch for NASCAR Villa to take it out. I would expect him to go to the 3rd line. He doesn't take it, though. I can't believe he doesn't go with that momentum. There he goes, up to the high lane. He gets in front of Zach Range. Here we go. NASCAR Villa's going to have a big run on this outside. Hill goes to the bottom. Oh, Leading gets turned into Garrett. Oh, Cody's getting turned to the inside lane. Zach Range has the advantage here. He gets turned. Nat's going to have a big run here coming to the line.
And they all wreck out back. It'll be a one-on-one duel. Hill versus Brambilla. Can he make the block? Brambilla with the run. Now he looks to the outside. Hill blocks. More contact. The 18 gets there. He'll have to come down to side draft. Is it enough? Now he gets more contact. Hill holds him off. He wins it at the line. Oh, my goodness. What a finish between Alex Hill and Nash Brambilla. Wow, I thought they were going to wreck each other there for a moment, but Alex holds him off. And, man, I think if Nash wanted to give him a little bit more of a hard time, he could have. But, hey, they both come home 1 and 2nd. Big payouts for both drivers. That was certainly a characteristic finish, to say the least. Not the way I expected it to go down. Let's go back and take a look at that finish before anything else. It all starts in turn 3 with a wreck that, well, I should say started in 3 and just ended in 4. I mean, this thing kept going. It started with Lima and Maines getting involved. Let's see how these two get collected. So on the apron goes Andrew Navarro. But you're going to see Dylan Jones and Zachary Lima. What sends Lima down into Jones? Can't tell from this view.
Looks like Justin Mills does.
All right, so here you go. Looking from the chopper view. Watch the 2. Oh, yeah. Pushes Lima. Can't push the pusher. Sends him down. Then back up into Garrett Maines. And then Cody gets turned. Then, man, I think he got a bad spot. The apron kind of overcorrects, and then he's just trying to save it. Can't quite do it. They all wreck behind, and here you go. Race on for the win. Brambilla, he's going to take one shot. I think Alex Hill thought he was going to go to the bottom. Brambilla gets him, but Hill was able to throw just enough of a block, but they make some contact, and then Brambilla looking for another big side draft. They make a little bit more contact. Hill fishtailing all the way to the line, but he holds on. And, boy, if they had another probably about 100 yards, maybe even less than that, I think Brambilla maybe steals it in the finish. For 1st and 3rd looked about identical. How about Kevin Freeze coming all the way back to 4th, finishing up 31 positions from where he started this race after all the trouble he went through tonight. And there's the burnout. Dale Cup is going to collect yet another one. And we'll take a look at your race results as they do that. Alex Hill, your winner tonight at Talladega. Nash Brambilla in 2nd. Tucker McClendon back in 3rd. Kevin Freeze in 4th. Cody Nagels 5th. Danny Esserman in 6th. Michael Sellers with a good finish just outside the money, though. He brings home 7th. Justin Mills in 8th. David Sheets 9th. And J.R. Miller rounding out your top 10. Going on back to 11th. It is going to be Garrett Maines after getting involved in that wreck through 3 and 4. Dustin Carruthers in 12th. Trevor Osborne 13th with Mark Math in 14th. Zach Range 15th. Richard Elliott in 16th. Dallas Knox finishes back in 17th with Zachary Lima in 18th. Moving on back to 19th, it's Cole Fitzpatrick with, meant to back that up just a little bit more. Chris Knighty rounding out your top 20. Sarah Clampert 21st. Dylan Jones 22nd. Andrew Navarro in 23rd, Michael Triscaro 24th, John Mullahan 25th with John Ward in 26th, Matt Lee 27th, Mitchell Bagley in 28th, and Tony Cox 29th. Ken McCall Jr. rounding out your top 30. Ryan Bass 31st, Ian White in 32nd, Jamie Stevens 33rd, Mike Davenport 34th, Steve Karosek in 35th with William Ransone back in 36th. 37, Jeff Merck, 38th. Kevin Hazelwood, 39th. Brock Westmoreland in your top 40, rounding out Dylan Basson. Jason Maines, 41st. And last in the field tonight, unfortunately, Mark Vondell after the internet issue that he sustained early. All right, we are going to go get your top 3 for interviews. Stick with us. We will be right back at Talladega. Back live at Talladega Superspeedway. Going to start first here tonight with your third place finisher. Matthew Baker stands by with Tucker McClendon.
Hey, Tucker, it's Matt and Austin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Well, talk to me how you got through to that third place finish. I mean, huge calamity in front of you. You had one of the best arm boards to get through that wreck. Talk to me through how you got to that end and just tell me about the racing overall tonight.
I mean, I pretty much in these races kind of like to stay in the back and try to make my way forward. And I just counted, I was in 18th or 19th going into turn 3. And somehow just made it through. I thought Matthew Lee, I was going to push him, and someone came down, collected him off my nose, and I mean, I just had it down to the floor and kept going.
Well, a great run for you. Adopted the Denny Hamlin mindset of ride in the back, hope for calamity up front. That way you had a clean truck coming to the front, but nonetheless, a good third place finish for you. Who'd you like to thank?
Hey, just my teammates out there. I was with Fitzpatrick and Bagley and all of them tonight, and kind of stayed together towards the end. And so thank them, and just thank PGR for putting us on. They're always fun.
Well, thanks for talking to us, Tucker. Hope we talk to you next week.
See ya.
And now that'll bring us to your second place finisher, Matthew Baker, also standing by with Nash Brambilla.
Hey, Nash, Matt, and Austin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Gotcha.
Well, we were talking about it towards the latter half of the race. We know that you're in the C-Fix a lot, and you've been practicing, not per se practicing, just running officials, and it gets you seat time for this race coming up on Thursday. Talk to me how you thought that last lap was going to play out to how it played out, and just the overall race in general.
Yeah, it's always good to get seat time and kind of learn how to control your temps as best you can and just run with the good boys. But yeah, that last lap was I was pretty content staying in line, and then I saw Garrett, he's kind of making a charge in that third lane. I felt like I would have won it if we would have not wrecked. I mean, we had a huge run in the third lane, and then Hill went to the bottom, so wish it would have played out, but, you can't complain when you get a second.
No, can't complain at all, and it's nice to see, cooler heads prevail. You see Alex go to throw that block. He thought you were going to go to the inside. When he went to the outside, he went to throw that second block, but you were already there. He tried to turn back down the track, had contact with him. Nice to see, no retaliation there, and you went down for the side draft. Not able to get the first place, but a good second place. Who do you like to thank?
Yeah, I just couldn't get that side draft. I got to thank my PGR boys. Triscaro, Davenport, J.R. Miller, we were all running pretty good, making that third lane work. And Premier Racing setups, so if you need a setup, go to Premier. And then my girlfriend, Dina, and my family for watching at home. And for the broadcast crew, you do a great job, and there's no one better than you guys.
Well, thanks for the kind words, Nash. Hopefully we talk to you next week, or sorry, not next week, next year. Going into the January race and the championship race. Hope to see you out there.
Yes, sir. Have a good New Year, guys.
All right, now that'll bring us to your winner here tonight, Alex Hill for Dale Cup. Hey, Alex, this is Austin and Baker up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, first thing I got to ask you, man, who would have guessed that a battle between two trucks could be as fierce as it was from Ada 4 to the Tri-Oval? Did you know that he was going to pick the outside, and tell us about how you were able to hold him off coming through the Tri-Oval?
Yeah, I had a pretty good feeling he was going to pick the outside. I feel like if he would have picked low, I would have side drafted him back by the time we got to the line and probably would have got him, which is usually what people do. But no, he went to the high side. I fully expected that, and then I was just trying to save it. I blocked him. It wasn't on set with me when I blocked him, so I just kind of had to save it, and we were wheeling it to the line. It was a good finish.
Certainly was. You bring home a lot of money here tonight, and now, of course, with another win, we know we'll see you going for that championship bonus at the start of next year. But overall, since PGR Thursday Night Heat Series has started, we've seen you move through a couple teams, but it seems like you and Dale Cup have been rolling recently. How do you guys keep putting up these good finishes?
Yeah, we've been rolling recently. We've just had really good communication, really good chemistry with one another. We've raced with each other so many times now. So yeah, it's really great being on that team. There are a bunch of good guys, Cody, Steve, Zach. Yeah, we're just a bunch of good guys just running together, having fun.
Well, certainly a lot of fun here tonight. Before we let you head out, is there anyone you'd like to thank or shout out?
Yeah, thank you to everybody over at Dale Cups. Like I said earlier, Steve, Zach, and Cody. And thank you to you for broadcasting, and thank you for Mike for putting this on. And big thank you to you, Baker, for race controlling.
Yes, sir.
All right, and that is your winner tonight, Alex Hill in the 77 machine. That is just gonna just about wrap up our coverage here tonight for the final race of 2023. Again, no race next week. Take a break, enjoy the holidays, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year from me and Baker here at PGR. Baker, it got a little messy at the end, but we still got a fun finish, and overall excited for what we're gonna see next season.
Yeah, definitely going to see some different cars out here, some different tracks. We're going to go to Daytona. Maybe an Atlanta race, throw it in there around the Atlanta type frame in March, who knows. We produced some good racing in Ron's, so hopefully we can put on the same show and get this Xfinity car rolling in this series and a couple other cars as well.
That is all for tonight. Thank you all so much for coming out. I hope you enjoyed. For Matthew Baker and Austin Green, have a good night.